starting with Bill Hunter, Annette McGee, Tom Taylor, Ed Johnston, John Eager, Laura Porter, Joel Meyer, myself, Marv Fonder, Herb Bays, Janie Kamen, Ross Gallagher, and Steve Bloomfield. Former county commissioners from the past 50 years who are friends of the Fairgrounds. During our terms in office, we worked diligently to improve the area for the entire community to use. We truly believe that leaving it at its present location makes good common sense for the taxpayers of our county. And I'll just add, until a better financially and economically suitable alternative can be identified. Over 50 years ago, as you know, the community-minded port and county officials, with the concurrence of the FAA, placed the fair facility in its current location in order to ensure its permanency. History tells us that the Fairgrounds was in the proximity of the airport before the Navy took it over during World War II. When the war was over, the area was returned to the citizens of Mason County. However, the new fairgrounds could not have been built on the exact property donated for a county fair by the Miller family in 1926, because wartime development had covered that ground with aviation facilities. History also tells us that our elected officials, along with the FAA, determined that the ground south of the runway remained vacant as it had been before the Navy took it over. Because no taxiway served that part of Sanderson Field, the property has never had an aeronautical use. Thus, a decision was made to build the fairgrounds. It makes little sense to consider moving or replacing the fairgrounds because what we have is what the community has been able to afford over the years. It could use some refurbishment, but as friends of the fairgrounds, we are not ashamed of it. It has served our community well and has been a valuable asset to the youth development for generations. We cannot understand why two of the port commissioners and their director are not standing up for the citizens against the pressures of the FAA to destroy something that was built by taxpayer dollars and donations from the community. While the terms of the original deed may give the FAA some say in how the property may be used, actual ownership is vested in the Port of Shelton Taxing District. The fairgrounds property has never been put into service for any aeronautical need, and furthermore, no future aeronautical need has been identified or defined. We understand that part of the $700,000 per year local tax burden goes to support the airport, and that additional airport funding comes from the leases and fees that are generated from airport property. These local monies, which are used to support the airport, far exceed the occasional FAA grant contributions for upkeep and improvements. Therefore, why aren't the two port commissioners defending the citizens of our area against the FAA? The FAA had no objections to using the property for the fairgrounds in 1963, and we say that they still should have no objections today because there is no identified aeronautical need for the property. We, as former Mason County commissioners from the past 50 years who are still working for the citizens in our county, intend to work toward convincing the Port Commission and the FAA that leaving the fairgrounds where it is makes good common sense that will benefit our community, our economy, the port, and the airport in the long run.